Hello and welcome to this video. After a lot of consideration, I have decided to give up on being a good person, and I am now going to be a villain. No, but in truth, I have decided that I'm going to become a cup seller. I'm going to give up on pretty much all of my dreams, and I'm going to be a cup seller. I'm going to sell cups. And I think for 2026, the new year coming up, that what I'm going to do is pretty much just sell cups while evading every angle probably of my responsibilities. And that feels like a fantastic plan. So I am a cup seller now. My glasses broke again, so I am blind to the consequences of my actions. Anyway, yeah, I hope that you are doing well and that you are ready for the new year. Can you believe it? I know it's only November, but still, what the heck? 2026. I'm getting started early. With the cups. But I hope that you are doing well. I'm drinking black coffee. Instant black coffee, straight from a plastic container from a major chain grocery store. It's hard to see, but this is my gothic cup. I took these pictures just out and about on some gothic adventures. This is one of my favorite cups because it's goth. It is gothic. It's got this weird like print area. Like you can see there's like a black cup and then there's like a printed area, but I still really like it, and it's a good gloomy way to start the day, I would say. I'm feeling in a very villainous mood, in a ridiculous mood as well. I filmed a Q&A video like a while ago, and I remember at the time I was so proud and like felt so confident. Oh, I'd answered something like 90 something questions, and then I was immediately hit by the unshakable feeling that no, I did not. And I've never been able to shake it off, and I feel so strongly like I probably forgot many questions, and I've just been too overwhelmed and frozen to like really look and take a look at if I missed questions. I have been haunted ever since that moment. Can you believe that? You know, I think in order to be properly villainous, you have to be haunted by your actions at some point. I also forgot to tell you some of my more ridiculous accommodations, and one of the things that I forgot to tell you is that when I'm walking through a city, I pick out a stereotypical made for TV heterosexual couple to follow, and I follow them. And this is an amazing strategy. If you ever find yourself in a city and there's so many people and you're overwhelmed, I highly recommend picking a Hallmark TV man and woman combo to follow. It has not done me wrong yet, unless they stop and take a bunch of pictures of things, then you need to go find a different couple. But it's one of my favorite things to do. I've done it all the time. I do it here in the city all the time. and it's fantastic. Now, I've tried other things. I've tried groups of women, groups of men, all kinds of combos. The thing that works best is some type of stereotypical man and wife. I find most often that their energy, their pace is more what I like. Like, I like to kind of cruise along at a steady pace, not walk too fast, not walk too slow. Groups of people can sometimes distract each other and slow the whole thing down, or they will race along just talking. But a man and a woman a little bit older, like, they've definitely got grown children, not young children, they've got some grown children. That age is perfect because people move out of their way. They're usually holding hands, so there's two of them. People move out of their way, and if you're behind them, you get to ride cleanly. It's like incredible on the highway, because in Texas, I used to get so overwhelmed driving, but get this, I would pick an 18-wheeler, one of those big, heavy cargo carrying trucks, and I would just get in the slow lane. I would pick one that was going at decent speed and just follow behind it. Other cars moved out of the way. I faced less aggression on the road. I faced more patience, more tolerance, because, hey, I'm by this big 18-wheeler. What do you want? You can't really do much to me. Can't really expect too much of me. I'm just cruising. And I would follow those things until it got off the highway or I had to get off the highway. So, what I'm saying is that heterosexual couples are my 18-wheelers of the city. I will follow them around. I'll be at peace, because without them, I'm left in the cold. I'm left with nothing, and I have to dodge and weave, and there's people everywhere. But find yourself a well-paced couple and just follow along. Amazing. I forgot to tell you that. I really forgot to tell you that. And that's been haunting me too. So, another villainous thing is that I miss pizza rolls so bad. I miss American junk food so bad. They don't have those here. They don't have pizza rolls in the UK. Although you can import them for a lot of money. You can import those bad boys, fly them over, have a party, but it's so expensive, so of course I'm not going to import pizza rolls. But I miss American junk food. I love pretty much every time there is a storm in Texas, and you can see on the news that people are still lining up to go to Whataburger. Still. There will be footage of people just hydroplaning, just cars just skidding, trying to aim and get in the drive-thru. They're just grabbing their bags and then they're hydroplaning into the beyond, because that's how nuts people are. Maybe the equivalent is like In-N-Out in California, like Chick-fil-A, but I have lived around some rundown Whataburgers that still attract a crowd, even in a dead blizzard or whatever have you, hurricane, whatever weird weather that Texas seems to get, once every couple years. You gotta keep the Whataburgers open. I can't find anything like that here in the UK. I don't know if the British appreciate degeneracy like Americans. I really don't know. I doubt it. This video is sponsored by the Popular Girls Club. The Popular Girls love doing social media, and they love to tell their tale of their own degeneracy and their own villainy, but also their redemption, whatever that means. They are unique. They are, quite frankly, delightful and enjoyable. And it's fantastic to see these kinds of popular girls take their moment, perhaps their place, their rightful place, next to the likes of what you might consider the traditional popular girls. Poodles, cats, dolphins, butterflies, etc. The creatures that nobody really has a problem with. It's nice that we can open up the doors to other kinds of existence. I made this cup. It's called 0 to 1. On one side there's a blue 0, and on the other side there is a red 1. And in the middle there's this phantom. He is animating a ball, kind of in this chamber, kind of mental, psychic chamber. This mug is kind of about animating myself after a stroke, but it is really about the kind of animating essence that we have, this kind of capacity to go from a state of absence or nothing to something 0 to 1. This kind of animation potential that we all have to create something unique and to kind of become alive and to become something all the time. So it's a bit of an abstract one, but I really like it because it's personal, but it also represents a bit of a worldview and a sense of agency and possibility in the world. This is all reminding me, actually, talking about like the animation of something over and over and over. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of that mental energy to envision something and then manifest it, whatever have you. I caught myself the other day, like I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I caught myself being a real villain in real time, but I caught it. And I felt strongly that I was the Grinch. I was a Grinch. And I had to allow my heart to grow. I actually went to an event. I had no idea what I was going to. I was invited by somebody, and a group of us got together. I went in blind. They were nice enough to give me a ticket. I didn't know what I was going to. We had dinner. I knew that we were going to watch some performance. I need my green cup for this. But we get in the theater, the performance starts, and I find myself sitting in what maybe in a former life, even like a year ago, would be the most torturous situation I could find myself in. And that is, I sat there, and on stage walked this person. I didn't know her name. Samantha Barker, who is, she does musical theater. She has played Elsa on stage, and she sang for hours. She sang for hours. Musical numbers. Musical or songs, right? The songs, but they're from Frozen. She sang Let It Go by Frozen. She sang a song from Ariel. She sang a song from Toy Story. And it was in this theater with these kind of LED candles, and behind her was someone playing the cello, or maybe whatever the instrument is, and then somebody playing the piano. Or was it a bass? I don't know what it was. And then someone playing a piano. If you know me at all, you will know that any kind of theater, singing, poetry, any type of kind of hand on the heart, eyes to God kind of performance like that will make me shrivel and shrink like a little snail. And I felt that I was the Grinch, and I found myself among the Whovillians. And I was in Whoville, and they were celebrating and connecting and bonding. And I was in my seat saying, what's going on here? Because this is what I was wrestling with. Between her songs, I never seen anything like this. She would stop and she would address the audience, and she would answer questions. She would tell a story from her life. And what she said was that she was interested in authenticity. She wanted an authentic connection with the audience. But do you see, and this is important, that when she said these things about how she wanted a show where it was about us, the audience, and it was about our connection, we were going to make something together that night. When she spoke in a way that I found highly inauthentic. She was still performing a character, and I found it a little bit condescending, the way she was speaking. Like she was clearly almost like a camp counselor, like talking about this, how special our closeness is in this night, and that we were gonna get like into some raw stuff. And well, I thought how BS that was. But here's the thing. As the night went on, and she sang these songs, and she took questions from the audience, and I found her doing something that was clearly premeditated, and she never dropped a persona. There was a moment where she was singing this song. You know that song like slipping through my fingers all the time? I don't know the name of it, but it's the one of like, I try and capture every minute. I think it's a mother singing about her daughter growing up. And there was a lot of women in the audience, and some of them were crying. And I did feel immediately my heart open up. And I felt like the Grinch, whose heart gets bigger, because the Grinch looks around and realizes that this is not personally a threat, that the Whovillians are singing. You know that scene where they're singing around, the Grinch has stolen everything and they're still singing anyway? I felt like that, and I felt shame. I felt embarrassed that I had judged this situation. And what I came to understand is that I don't think I was wrong in my analysis that this woman was indeed manufacturing a kind of authenticity by carefully leaking information. So she talked about her pregnancy and being a mom. She's not going to talk about real stuff. She's not going to talk about how one time she tripped a girl and the girl fell on her face. Like, she's not going to talk about, or that she fantasizes about shoplifting. She's not going to say what we know is like the real stuff that people have in them. But she doesn't need to. And I found myself being like, what do I want from her? Do I want her to tell me her deepest, darkest fantasy? that like sometimes she might look at another man who isn't her husband. Like, what do I want this woman to say tonight? She's talking about being a mom. She's talking about, and she's doing a bit, and she's like performative. She's got like Disney Channel energy, kind of celebrity energy, where she's not gonna give you her real self. She's still in a persona, but I was like, the audience is eating it up, loving it, and she's a professional. She is a professional performer. She is sharing stuff about her real life, her family life, about touring and, you know, going to Japan and what have you. I thought that my expectation of her was unfair and that her performance was comforting to the audience. It's the kind of closeness that they want. And they want her to sing Let It Go by Frozen. And it means so much to the audience. And actually, like God wagging his finger in my face, when I got on the train to go home, one of the women who was in the audience, she was on the train with me. And I overheard her talking to other people on the train about how much that show meant to her. And that the performer, Samantha Barker, couldn't have known this, but that she ended up singing this woman's wedding song, and how magical and she thought was so authentic and personal, and how she enjoyed it. And then I really felt like God was shaking his head at me, you know. So I rode the train home with this person going on about how much she loved it, and I thought, of course, and I need to lighten up. And indeed, I was able to sit through 2 hours of this, and I felt fine. I didn't recoil, I didn't fantasize about leaving, I just kind of observed. And a lot of my villainy, my judgment, and my, you know, whatever melted away. I was able to still come away with the conclusion that this is not for me. And I did not personally feel very connected to this woman, or personally feel like or find her relatable, but of course other people would, and that was okay. And I really felt myself open to others and kind of put away some of my hang-ups, and I was very thankful that I got to go and have that experience. And it was really nice to be invited somewhere, and they got my ticket, and it meant a lot to them. So it was special to be able to enjoy what they enjoyed, because they're enjoying it. Even if I'm not enjoying it, it still leads to a good time, because I feel happy for them. I feel happy for other people. Jesus Christ. Villainy is that petty. It's that petty. It's like, I can't, because I'm not having a good time, even if someone else is having a good time. Villainy is that petty. I'm leaning into certain parts of my villainy, others not so much. When I was tattooing, I designed a lot of tattoos, and I still draw and design stuff, but I thought I put them on these cups because they're kind of thematic, and I have a blue one, I have a red one. The red one is like ruby, darkness, and then the green one is like plants and growth and that kind of earthly energy, and the blue is kind of dream energy, contemplative stuff. Those are some of my wares. And then I have this exploratory scholastic cup featuring my model ship that I have. I love my model ship. I'm into this kind of vibe. So if I'm not into like Frozen, Let It Go, I'm kind of into this. And this is probably just as cringe and nerdy to somebody else who likes Let It Go. So you see, someone else is the Grinch to my Whoville, and I am probably a plebeian Whovillian to somebody. I'm really going to embrace my relationship with villainy, complex villainy. I'm going to move from cartoonish Grinchian villainy to complex villainy, in which I will embrace chaos, cup selling, but probably open my heart to the joy that other people find in the world. I hope that you are doing well, that you are embracing your own complex villainy, and that should you find yourself at a musical event, that you at least have a drink, that you at least had a good couple of glasses of wine before then, as I was fortunate enough to have had. Anyway, I'm not really giving up my dreams. I'm not really giving up everything to sell cups, but I am selling cups. God knows why. God knows why anything happens. You ever find yourself just doing things in the world and you think, what am I doing? We don't know. I don't know. 2026 will be the year of doing things in the world and then saying, what? And not getting an answer. That is the complex villainy of the world. I think sometimes you're not going to get a straightforward answer, at least. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that enigma of a message. And I hope that you're doing well, and that you have a drink, a nice drink, whatever, coffee, whatever, and that you're able to find some peace in the complex world, in the villainous world. Some of those trains are kind of extra loud today. But I hope you're doing well. And of course I will see you very soon. I will see you very, very soon with more coffees, more cups, God knows what else. So thank you so much for watching and being here. I hope that you have a good night if you are going to sleep. Otherwise, I'll see you soon, and